viewers of YouTube. This is Mark Barsotti, ex-rock critic, current occasionally writer of rock books. And we're going to be dipping into a little bit to my 2002 book, Yakety Yak, Rock's Greatest Quotes, Sex, Drugs, and Everything Else. I started collecting rock quotes back in the 80s from a variety of sources, and this was a collection on a variety of topics. And I'll just to quote from the back cover of Yakety Yak, Rock's Greatest Quotes. Posting over 1,800 of Rock's Greatest Quotes, Yakety Yak explores 70 years of music, because there's actually a quote in there from the 40s, a couple of them, through the thoughts of its creators about sex, drugs, and everything else, from childhood, fame, fashion, and historic moments to road life and rivalries, from money in the music bids to creativity, craziness, and true confessions of superstars and indie artists alike. And that's pretty good pimping, if I do say so myself. So anyway, a few selections from the chapter entitled, That's Rock and Roll. It goes to 11. All of us are footnotes to the words of Chuck Berry. That was Leonard Cohen, quoted in 2017, I think, on the passing of Chuck Berry. Crystal and I decided to get married in 1974, Hunter Thompson style. We drove all night across the desert to Nevada after dropping acid, me pouring down vodka the whole way. That was from the late, great Warren Zevon from 1981. Here's one from that Delaware destroyer himself, George Thorogood. You can walk around with a bottle of Jack Daniels in your hand like Keith Richards and a snakeskin jacket like John Hammond. But if you don't learn what they learned, you ain't even going to pass the first grade. Again, that was George Thorogood actually from an interview with me that appeared in the Denver Alt Weekly Westward, one of those great alt weeklies that's still around, in 2025. And that quote from George was 1993. Speaking of Chuck Berry, here's another one that mentions him. I've been in plenty of cutting contests. Me and Chuck Berry have done it plenty of times. He'd say he was the star of the show. I'd say that I was the star. I've been on the bill with Jerry Lee Lewis like that too. We were all of us vain back in the time. The young and crazy often need a spanking and a planking. Well, bless my soul, that was Little Richard from 1990 there. All right. I prefer to call my new album, How About I Be Me and You Fuck Off, but Walmart wouldn't stock us. Sinead O'Connor, who's unfortunately left us as well in the last few years, that was from 2012. I love this one from Mudhoney singer guitarist Mark Arm. We're pure noise, pure grunge, pure shit. 1991, and that I haven't researched this, so I say this without a great deal of confidence, but that could well be the first use of the word grunge to describe grunge. Again, that was from Mudhoney's Mark Arm, 1991. All right, this one's pretty long, but it's kind of funny. Well, funny's not the right word. Amusing, let's say. So the last time the Dead were in Milwaukee, just before the last election, that being the election of 1972, the re-election of Richard Milhouse, I am not a crook, Nixon. We were staying at the same hotel as George McGovern, the ex-bomber pilot, World War II bomber pilot, who was cast as a peacenik in that election by the Nixon forces, and of course McGovern got slaughtered in the general election. We'd been touring and scored billions of firecrackers. In the middle of the night, I'm sleeping, and my phone rings, and I hear this incredible distorted sound coming out. Blam, blam, blam. A bunch of the guys were throwing firecrackers out the windows. The Secret Service guys are swarming us all over the place. They think McGovern's going to get shot up at some kind of militant scene. They go out and bust the place up, and the guys are in their room shooting bottle rockets to the hotel across the street. The whole scene was amazing. Fucking Milwaukee. That was Grateful Dead guitar singer Jerry Garcia from 1975. Boy, a lot of dead people in this book, right? Well, don't worry, folks. We all join the choir invisible sooner or later. Let's see what else we got here. Skipping through the pages. Let's see. Okay, this is punk has always been about doing things your own way. What it represents for me is ultimate freedom and a sense of individuality, which basically becomes a metaphor for life and the way you want to live it. Pixie singer, guitarist Black Francis, a.k.a. Frank Black, and that was from 2005. There's a good one from DJ Wolfman Jack. Don't know who that is. Maybe check out the movie American Graffiti. But if you don't know Wolfman Jack, you probably don't know what American Graffiti is. Check them both out if you wish. Glenn Campbell told me I saved his life one night when he fell asleep at the wheel someplace in Florida, and I howled real loud and woke him right up. Wolfman Jack, 1992. When I was drunk, I jumped out of the 10th story of an apartment building onto the top of a pine tree and then climbed down. I'm not sure that's the dumbest thing I ever did, but it comes to mind. Soundgarden singer Chris Cornell, 2005. A good thing I remember about certain songs is the mistakes they have in them. That's Kinks singer-guitarist Ray Davies from 1970. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one from blues rhythm guitarist Jane Wheatland from 2000. We spent hours trying to drive our road manager crazy. We would take pictures of our crotches and slip them under his hotel door and write, "Guess whose is whose?" Again, Go-Go's guitarist, backup singer Jane Wheatland there from 2000. We went to Graceland on our last tour. I liked that Elvis had a bar and a TV set in every room, so you could sit and drink and watch TV everywhere you want. It's from Beastie Boy Ad Rock Horowitz, 1987. If it ain't sweaty and smelly, it ain't rock and roll no more. Wasp singer-guitarist Blackie Lawless, 1995. Innovation is still alive in rock music. I like strange juxtapositions and bending noise around to the way I want. Excuse me, good. I'm not even drinking, and I apologize for the belch there. I like strange juxtapositions and bending noise around to the way I want it to sound. I dislike any sort of noise that thrills. And that was Jesus Jones, singer-guitarist Mike Edwards, 1991. They had a great album that year. That's from another one of the interviews I actually did there with Mike Edwards from Jesus Jones for Musician Magazine back in the day. And I'm going to close with this one again. This is the spirit of that's in the chapter That's Rock and Roll. And here's a highly literate one that goes like this. Shit, 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 fuck, 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 drunk, 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 tits, 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 tits. There. I think I got it out of my system. Now I can go talk on the radio. And that was replacement bassist Tommy Stinson from 1989. And so that's a taste of Yakety Yak, rock's greatest quotes for sex, drugs, and everything else from 2002. And you might think, Mark, that's really great. How come there's not more of that? Well, great news, gang. The sequel, Yakety Yak 2, now subtitled Greatest Rock Quotes, but still sex, drugs, and everything else, has been just released in time for the new year. And you can get the new book, the old book, and a couple of my other books, a novel and another great rock book from mostly of my rock scribblings. Almost 90% of that in full interviews. Anyway, the Yakety Yak books and others are available at your local Amazon. Just type Yakety Yak book or Yakety Yak 2 book into the search engine. They'll pop up. The new book's available. Over 1,000 quotes in that one. A couple dozen great picks by me and also professional artists, professional photographers that I knew back in the day. And it's currently on sale for only $14.99 for an actual physical book. If you can believe it or not, it shows up at your door a couple days after you click that order button. Or, of course, in a nod to the new century, it is available in a digital Kindle edition for only that one's currently on sale for $3.49. So buy the book. It's got a higher royalty rate for me, but also you can hold it in your hand, take it with you into the bathtub or anywhere you want. The pictures look a lot better in full size. But hey, buy one, buy them both, buy them all, buy them for your friends, give them away as gifts. Christmas may be about over, but hey, New Year's is a good gift. Any day of the week is a perfectly good time to buy a book about rock and roll and give it to your friends and loved ones. See you next time, gang. Again, this is Mark Barsotti, and keep rockin', baby.